everyone. Welcome back to the ranch at Chez Temescal. It is another edition of Bone Quarantine, a beautiful fall day here at the ranch, and what could be better than putting together some Chez Temescal pumpkin soup? And what's really cool about this pumpkin soup is, first of all, it is vegan, and the other is that it's done in the Instant Pot, so it comes together very, very quickly. So today's recipe is going to be for Chez Temescal pumpkin soup. And let's go ahead and let's get started. You ready? Here we go. All right. So we start with having our Instapot here ready to go. And we have 1 can of pumpkin. So it's 15 ounces of pure pumpkin. And just put that right on in. And then followed by 4 large carrots. Makes about 3 cups of carrots. But 4 large carrots that are cut into large chunks. Just a nice rough chop. Also, we've got one pepper here, 1 yellow or 1 orange red pepper, and this you can use a red pepper, a yellow pepper. Green will be a little bit stronger, but if you go with orange, yellow, red, you're going to be in good shape. It's going to be 1 pepper. Again, just into chunks, rough chop. We've also got half of a yellow onion, again, chopped in large pieces, again, just in large chunks. And we have also 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. Just pop that in there like that. And then finally, we're going to add 3 cups of vegetable broth. As I said a few moments ago, this is a vegan recipe. But if you prefer to use chicken broth, you can, and that's absolutely fine. But we decided we were going to go ahead and keep this recipe vegan. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stir this all together, okay, and just like that. And we're going to find the lid to our Instapot. And I never get this thing done right the first time, so it's going to take me a moment here. But for those of you who are experts with this, you can certainly tell me if there's an easier way to handle the lid. Hey, got it on the first time. I'm really lucky. Okay, so now we're going to set our timer here. We're going to set it to manual, and we want it to be for 8 minutes. All right, it's going to take a couple of minutes for it to get up to pressure, and then it's going to run for 8 minutes. And this is going to be on 8 minutes sealed. You don't want it vented, you want it sealed. And so we're going to let this thing go. So don't go away. We'll be back. So that brings us up to now where we're going to be venting. And then we're going to be adding some more deliciousness as well. So what I like to do is I like to just help it release. Okay, so our Instapot is still slow venting, and the kitchen smells amazing with the pumpkin and the carrots and stuff all coming out through the steam. Again, doing the slow venting, it's a little bit more controlled. Then once we get it to this point, we can go ahead and let it finish like this. Again, point the lid away from you. And this is what we've got. So if you have an immersion blender, works great with an immersion blender, but you can also use a regular blender for this next step as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to bring over my blender right here. And what I'm going to do with the blender is I've got my ladle, and I'm going to just start ladling in all this goodness. All right, we emptied the contents of the Instapot, ladled everything in, and then what was left, we were able to lift the insert out with pot holders and pour it into our blender. And now what we're going to do is we're going to puree this mixture. Here we go. All right, so we've been pureeing for a minute, In this particular blender, I like to vent the top just a little bit because it makes it a little easier to get the lid off. We'll release it here. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, it smells amazing. We're not quite done yet. Now we've got to add a little bit more richness. So we're going to start with 1 can of coconut milk. Okay. And we've got a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of pepper. We've got a teaspoon of dried sage. We've got a ½ teaspoon of cocoa powder. And finally, we have 2 teaspoons of olive oil. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop our lid back on here for a minute. Just a second. Close it up. And then we're just going to stir it up. We'll do it here on low. And let's get it just a good stir. Okay, so we have got this thoroughly blended. Again, we're going to let this vent just a little bit. Shake this up. Now, what you can do with this is you can transfer this back to your Instapot and keep it warm that way if you want. Particularly if you use an immersion blender, then you would just keep it warm. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to tuck in right now and see how well we did. So let me see if I can pop this off the base. So this is what it's looking like. And let's give it a taste, all right? Let's see. So just pour a little bit in. And then have some fresh sliced basil here. Put a couple of here, a couple sprigs. So this makes about 4 to 6 bowls of soup. And I can't wait to tuck in with all this. A little bit of basil with it. So it's vegan, right? But it is so smooth and flavorful. It's really good. This is really, really good pumpkin soup. A little bit of a kick from the spicing from the pepper. You pick up some of the sage. This is so good. And then between the coconut milk, and just basically just doing the whole puree thing on it, just absolutely just makes this a really, really nice, very nice and very smooth pumpkin soup. Well, there you have it. So another recipe out of the ranch at Chez Temescal. This is the Chez Temescal pumpkin soup, and we made it vegan. And we really do appreciate, again, you all tuning in. We're getting more and more folks that are adding the channel. So tell your friends about the channel and have them subscribe and like on YouTube. And be sure to send us more information, more recipe ideas. We'll be glad to kind of put them into place, give them a try here, and then put them together for all of you. So we are, again, so very thankful as we're coming into the fall season, particularly as we're getting into Thanksgiving, to have the ability to share these recipes with you. And whether or not we're able to get together with everyone during the holidays, or if we're doing it remote, it's important to have these type of fall flavors that kind of help bring the holidays alive. So until we see you all again, this has been another edition of Bone Quarantine here at the ranch at Chez Temescal. Thanks so much for watching, and have an amazing day. Bye, everyone.